Ladies and gentlemen, boy, let me tell you something. When I first heard that Caleb Williams, the golden boy, the Chicago Bears' new hope, the face of the franchise, got caught off guard at practice by that offensive mastermind, Ben Johnson. Oh, I said to myself, grab your seatbelt. This gonna be a ride. Because what we witnessing right now ain't just some rookie QB struggling in July heat. Nah. What we seen is the battle between raw talent and refined strategy, between hype and hard coaching, between Caleb Hollywood Williams and Ben Johnson, who got more tricks in his playbook than David Copperfield had in Vegas. First overall pick, USC product. Highlight reels that look like they belong in a Marvel movie. Caleb been floating on that cloud where every throw is golden, every scramble is electric, and every whisper out of Chicago been about how this man gon' finally bring the Bears a quarterback they ain't had since, well, Sid Luckman, if we being real. But here come Ben Johnson. He ain't here for hype. He ain't here for headlines. He's here for habits. And when he dialed up some looks at practice that had Caleb scratching his helmet, mumbling, "What in the world was that?" That right there was reality check. Knee. One. Always tell y'all, the NFL don't care nothing about your college accolades. And nobody's scared of your Neil money, your Heisman trophy, or the 2 million followers you got on Instagram. The league is a different animal. And in this zoo, Ben Johnson just reminded Caleb he ain't the lion yet. He's still the cub. Now let me break down why Ben Johnson caught him. Ben Johnson is that rare coach who can marry creativity with discipline. He ain't out here just drawing plays in the dirt. He building systems. He uses motion. He uses spacing. He manipulates coverage like he playing chess, while everybody else still using checkers. So when Caleb thought he saw cover 2, nah, that was disguised cover 6. When he thought the blitz was coming off the edge, nope, it was a delayed nickel fire. When he thought the hot red was open, guess what? Johnson had that linebacker sitting in the lane like a spider waiting on a fly. That's why I say, Caleb didn't just have a bad day. He got schooled. This was a film room lesson brought to life. And Ben Johnson wanted him to feel that sting now, in July, so it don't cost the Bears in November when the Packers bring that pressure. Now, hear the thing. Every rookie gon' get humbled. Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his first year. Josh Allen looked like a tight end playing quarterback half the time in Buffalo. Even Trevor Lawrence was seeing ghosts. His rookie season under Urban Meyer's circus. The question ain't, did Caleb get rattled? The question is, how does Caleb respond? If he sulks, if he start acting Hollywood, if he brush it off like, oh, that's just practice, then we got a problem. But if he takes this as fuel, if he go back in that film room with Ben Johnson, look that man in the eye and say, "Coach, show me again. Teach me. Break it down." Then, oh boy, the Bears see Chicago been starving for a quarterback since forever. The city of Mike Ditka, Walter Payton, and that 85 defense ain't never had a QB to match. They've drafted GEM, prayed for EM, and still ended up with Rex Grossman in the Super Bowl. So now they got Caleb, and they pair him with Ben Johnson, one of the sharpest young minds in the league. This ain't just about getting caught off guard. This is about laying the foundation for the franchise. Because if Caleb and Johnson get on the same page, you gonna be hearing M in the playoffs for the next decade. Now let me bring y'all back. Remember Patrick Mahomes' rookie year? Everybody know Mahomes now is the magician. But that first year, Andy Reid and Alex Smith made him sit. They fed him defenses in practice that made him look foolish. And Mahomes hated it. But guess what? By the time he started, he was ready. Remember Lamar Jackson? They said he couldn't throw outside the numbers. Then Greg Roman built a scheme around him, but Lamar also had to learn, week by week, what coverages were trying to trap him. Now he and MVP same blueprint here. Caleb gon' struggle, but if Ben Johnson keep putting him in the fire now, Chicago might reap the benefits later. Now, the media gon' say, oh my goodness, Caleb Williams exposed in practice. Is he really ready? Is this another Bears bust incoming? You know how the hot takes fly, but Unan's gonna tell you the truth. This ain't failure. This is foundation. This is what good coaching looks like. Because you'd rather see your rookie QB fail in July when the only audience is his teammates, than see him fail in December under them. Under fees. This ain't Ben Johnson trying to embarrass you, it's him trying to prepare you. Live in the film room. You got the talent, but the league gon' test your brain. Beat him with your mind before you beat. And with your mind before you beat. And with your arm. Lead through humility. When your teammates see you admit mistakes, take coaching, and come back sharper, that's when they gon' follow you through fire. See, let me tell y'all something. You can have all the arm talent in the world. You can throw that ball 70 yards in the air, sidearm, no look, make it look like you straight out of Madden. But none of that matters if you can't read what the defense giving you. That's the thing rookies don't understand until they step foot in the league. In college, you might see 2 or 3 coverages a game. In the NFL, you gonna see 8 in one series. That's the difference. And that's why Caleb looked like, hold on now, what is this? Ben Johnson knew exactly what he was doing. He ain't setting him up to fail. He's setting him up to learn. You gotta crawl through the mud before you dance in the rain. Now, Chicago ain't just another city. This ain't Jacksonville. This ain't Nashville. This is Chicago, sports capital of the Midwest, the city of Jordan, Payton, and Banks. And let me tell you, them fans, they impatient. They've been watching the Packers have Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for 30 years while the Bears been stuck with Jay Cutler and Mitch Trubisky. You think they got patience left? Nah. So every practice report gon' be magnified. Every interception gon' trend on Twitter. Every time Caleb looks human, somebody gon' say, here we go again. Another Bears bust. And that's the weight Caleb got to carry. That's why this moment with Ben Johnson is so important. Because it's better for him to get embarrassed now than humiliated later when the whole city ready to burn jerseys. Let me talk about Ben Johnson for a second, because this man don't get enough shine. You all saw what he did in Detroit with Jared Goff. Goff was left for dead after the Rams shipped him out for Stafford. Folks said he was a system quarterback. Said he couldn't process under pressure. But Ben Johnson put him in a system where he thrived. He took that man from NFL punchline to Pro Bowl level again. Now imagine what he can do with a kid who got more talent in his pinky finger than Goff got in his whole arm. That's what Caleb walked into. But talent gotta meet teaching. And that's where these little practice battles matter. Ben Johnson gonna push Caleb, confuse Caleb, frustrate Caleb, and in the process, make Caleb sharper than he's ever been. Another thing y'all gotta understand. When a rookie QB gets humbled, the whole locker room watching, because the vets wanna know how this kid gonna respond. He gonna throw his helmet? He gonna cuss out the coaches? He gonna act like he too good to be coached? Or is he gonna walk up to DJ Moore after practice and say, hey, on that dig route, what did you see? How'd they cover you? Is he gonna ask that offensive line? How fast was that blitz hitting? How fast was that blitz hit? What did y'all see pre-snap? That's how leadership gets built. Not by making every throw perfect, but by showing your teammates you willing to grind, to listen, to adapt. And if Caleb shows that humility now, the Bears locker room gon' rally around him real quick. Now let me scare y'all for a second. You think Ben Johnson's disguises in practice rattled Caleb. Wait till he see Mike Zimmer. Wait till he see Green Bay running that exotic Joe Barry scheme. Wait till he see the Ravens sending pressure from every angle like they playing blitz on. Rookie mode, then the NFL gon' throw the kitchen sink at Caleb. They gon' test if he studied. They gon' test if he patient. They gon' test if he know when to live for another down. That's why I ain't panicking when I hear he got caught off guard. That's called preparation. It's like sparring in boxing. You get tagged in training, so you don't get knocked out on fight night. Now, here's something you might overlook, the mental side. Because when you know, one pick, you ain't just playing football, you playing psychology. Every reporter asking if you ready. Every defensive player dreaming about being the first one to sack you. Every rookie mistake getting replayed on ESPN. That's pressure. That's heavy. And that's why what Ben Johnson did is genius. He making Caleb face adversity early, when the stakes low, because you don't want to be 10 weeks into the season before your QB realize he ain't invincible. Let me take you back real quick. My rookie year in Denver, John Elway pulled me aside, said, "Shay, you gon' drop some balls. You gon' run the wrong route, but how you respond is what gon' define you." And guess what? He was right. Caleb right now in that same position. He gon' throw picks. He gon' misread coverages. But if he keep his head down, keep fighting, he gon' earn that locker room's respect. And respect, ladies and gentlemen, is what keep you in this league. Now, I know how the narrative machine works. Tomorrow, you gon' see folks saying, maybe Caleb Williams ain't as good as we thought. Maybe Chicago made a mistake. But don't buy into that. Every great QB humbled early. Brady had them ugly picks his first year. Mahomes admitted he didn't even know how to read defenses until year 2. Josh Allen was throwing fastballs into linebackers' chests. But those moments made them who they are. So, if Caleb embraced this moment instead of running from it, this gonna be the first chapter in his NFL success story, ladies and gentlemen. Caleb Williams got caught off guard by Ben Johnson. But let's not act like that's the headline of doom. No, this is the beginning. This is what growth look like. The cocoon always ugly before the butterfly come out. So when I look at this, I don't see a bust. I don't see another Bears quarterback curse. I see a rookie getting forged in the fire. And if Caleb lean into this, if Ben Johnson keep coaching him hard, then don't be surprised if 2 years from now, we look back at this moment and say, that was the day Caleb Williams stopped being a prospect and started being a pro.